Hello friends, welcome back. It is time for another episode of BigDenoPlays Kingdom Death. We have just ticked over Lantern Year 7 in our 7 Swordsman campaign, and I thought it might be a good time to have a little state of affairs of the campaign. So one thing that we did very early on was give out character cards, in fact in Lantern Year 0, and that has certainly increased the capability of our settlement during the early game. And so to try and counteract that a little, I have increased the damage output of monsters in the last few Lantern Years. So that has absolutely made things feel very, very knife's edge. One of the things that as you get more experienced in Kingdom Death, you tend to find is that you don't lose a lot of survivors in showdowns generally. You usually lose them to settlement events and other things, and that's unfortunately been the case where we had a significant severe injury last year on one of our survivors who is now hamstrung. Nightingale, poor girl. So if we look at our innovations, we have Inner Lantern for Surge, we have Song of the Brave, and I'll explain something about that shortly. We have Dash, we have Drums, we have Ammonia, and it's all sort of ticking along relatively nicely in terms of what we need to have a successful, long, deep campaign. The one thing we don't have is survivors, and so we're playing very conservative. And up till this point, I think we probably have mostly played within our capabilities. This mission, there's competing priorities this hunt, this showdown, because if we get to Collective Cognition 13, then we open up level 2 philosophies. If we defeat a Gorm, we get rid of Gorm Climate for the rest of the campaign, and if we put those two together, it's a level 2 Gorm. However, we are not bringing two of our best survivors that would make me feel very, very comfortable in Lumina and Newt. Instead, we're bringing probably 2 Jet survivors and then some other, I guess, backups. So this is a genuine risk, I think, this hunt, to go for level 2, but the payoff is just worth it, and I think we've got to go for it. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to go for a level 2 Gorm. This could actually be the campaign's conclusion at this point. We will have a fetid grotto that we have to deal into at some point before we get there. It's a risk. It's a risk, put it that way. And it's a risk I think is worth taking, because it then sets us up. We get to then slow play a little bit more, and I think we will feel very, very comfortable. But yeah, I mean, this could go awful, and if it does, well, it's your fault. You pushed me into doing this. It's been great. I think this has been probably one of the funnest campaigns I've done because of just how knife edge every decision feels, and we've had some very, very critical rolls. We have not had to use a lifetime reroll yet, thanks to Guardian. Guardian's actually helped us a lot. But yeah, it's a nerve-wracking time. So we'll just go through our survivors once again. So we're taking Aya. We've given her a mixture of all of the best gear. So she's got the Diamond Scab Guitar and the Vespertine Bow and the singing set. We just need her to survive at all costs. Simple as that. Mossy, we've managed, she's our next excellent survivor that we want to retain. We've given her the Wisdom Potion and the Healing Potion, which actually triggers the Immortal Arm, which is amazing. Sleeping Virus Flower, Fist and Tooth, it's all happening down here. This could also be a lucky charm, but I don't think we need it at the moment. She's more focused on strength than deadly. Speaking of deadly, Lucy's going to make the switch to a rib blade and go for deadly rib blade attacks with the grand weapon. But she does have the Dreamkeeper knife, so she's going to try and tick us our -1 luck for the monster early. Finally, our backup Nightingale, she's just got a Bitzer set with the Crimson Bow that she'll hopefully plink a few shots off. And then finally Newt. Newt's got the A grade setup, which is Grimjaw, Scout's Lantern, Scout Face Cloak, and Vermin Belly Boots. So she's got Guardian, she's got the Queen. She's going to try and stay safe until we absolutely need her to run and hide. And once she's hopefully come in right at the end and do a wound for us. So there's the big Gormy Gorm. But let's head over here and depart. So we don't have any bonuses for departing this year other than our innate 2 departure. So depart. Whew. All right. So the first person will be Aya with a flatter earth. Roll 1d10. We roll a 1. We roll 2 random hunt events before continuing on the board. 67. What we're really hoping to hit here is a 42, by the way. A 42 is the only way that I can conceive of healing hamstrung. Saliva pools. If any survivor has a sickle, we do. All survivors gain 1 understanding. I should also mention that we're going to herb gather at this point, which is exciting because we finally get some fresh acanthus that we can use. All survivors gain an understanding, and Nightingale achieves an insight, which is exceptionally exciting. So she is an explorer, and she rolls a 6 on the insight table, which I believe is 3 survival and 3 insanity. It is. She will also gain a seed pattern. Max survival, 3 insanity. I'll grab out my seed pattern deck and I'll put that over here just so I remember. So anytime we reach an insight milestone, we are giving ourselves the option to choose a seed pattern. Anytime we use one of the other ones, we gain 1 through what other means, then we will just randomly deal that. So we will choose a seed pattern. I believe that is our 3rd for our survivors. Let me just confirm that. 1, 2, 3. Yep, that's our 3rd. Great. So saliva pools was our first of the random events. The second one is 35. Come on, 42. Or 79. A broken lantern oven. Oh my goodness, this is awesome. Okay. Oh my goodness, we actually get... So Lucy is the event revealer, is that right? Broken lantern oven. We don't have lantern oven. Okay, so we're going to just roll the dice, and it's an 8. We get a lantern oven innovation. Oh, for free. We got heat. That's wonderful. Scrap smelting finally in the mix. That's actually a pretty important innovation. Every time I do this, I feel like I take forever. Lantern oven, lantern oven, lantern oven. Consequences. Now, so if the settlement has Song of the Brave, which we do, we may nominate a survivor to gain a courage and do something. Do we wish to do that? Let's think. We gain a courage. We gain the apathetic disorder, which is awful. But you do grab some vermin resources. It's a 50-50 for some vermins. Is the courage worthwhile? The courage could be worthwhile for Lucy. 2 vermin. Are 2 vermin resources worth it? Apathetic you cure when you have 8 understanding? Let's have a look. I think it is. Yeah, so we're probably a chance there. Just don't know if it's worth risking our survival. No, we won't. No, we will. The courage is worth it, I think, to get us into bold. So she's prepared her bold roll. That's a 1, and so that is gain a speed token for the next showdown. And then the more important roll, which is, does she gain apathetic or does she gain 2 vermin? She gains apathetic. It's not worth that. Shame for loose. Shame for loose. All right, we move on to the next one. A Horizon of Bones. All survivors gain a courage. Well, I regret my choices. So everyone gains a courage from the Horizon of Bones. Here, a random event. We roll, this is the 39, it's so close to 42. Heavy Mist. Okay, so we roll 1d10. It's a 6. If the result is even, the survivors stumble in the right direction. The monster does not ambush us because he's here, so that's fine. 4th person. 41. Oh my God, can you believe it's 41? The event revealer, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Nightingale gains a -1 evasion token. I'll get that out. And 1d10 insanity. 5. We're not doing a Twilight Sword. We have the option to, but we're not doing it. Man, that was so close to 42. All right, mating fields. So each that does gains a courage and rolls on the table. Everyone's going to do it. Everyone's going to gain a courage. So, yeah, I'll just do everyone's courage at once. Manage departing survivors. Gain a courage. Mossy achieves bold. Mossy's bold roll. She rolls a 6, which is gain 3 survival. No, gain 1 understanding, Mossy. Mossy gets insight. So Mossy is prepared. Mossy gets explore. And her insight roll is a 3. Reroll 1 hunt event result this hunt phase. Cool. So now Mossy will go from top down. So Aya rolls a 7. She suffers a brain event damage. Lucy rolls a 5. She suffers a brain event damage. A 4, a brain event damage. The next one is a 4. She has a brain event damage. And the last one rolls a 9. So we do gain 1 Gorm resource, which makes that feel worthwhile. Just need some understanding. Stout heart. Herb gathering. So we'll roll 3 dice for everyone. First one. That is a 9. Second one. That is 9, 18, and 7, which is 25. Yeah. That one's a nothing. 6 and 6, 25, 37. And the last person gets us over the line. So everyone gains survival from eating. Which is only relevant for Lucy. 1, 2. Then we also gain two fresh acanthus. Fresh acanthus. And fresh acanthus. Okay. We need that. Overwhelming darkness. We shall start from the top. Aya rolls a 3. Aya suffers a -1 accuracy token, which she will discard. Lucy rolls a lantern 10. So Lucy gains the leader fighting art, but she is getting 2 Lumi out of that. Good work, Luce. Next person rolls a 3, which is -1 accuracy token, which she can discard. Nightingale already has an evasion token. She rolls a 5, so she gets a second evasion token, so that's good. And everyone else gains a survival, so Lucy gains a survival. And finally, Newt, brave little Newt, rolls a 2, -1 accuracy token, and that is it. We make it to the showdown. We need some understanding on Lucy. That is problematic. I actually needed to flip. Yeah, fine. So, fetid grotto. We've found a fetid grotto. So each survivor must approach the cave. So let's start with Aya. Aya rolls a 6. So add your current waste armor points to your head and reduce your waste armor points to 0. Gain 2 insanity and 2 survival. Very good. She's at maximum survival. Next person down is Lucy. And she rolls a 1. Now, I did give her... Oh, she can't gain survival. Oh, wow. 1. Followed by a 6. Suffer the collapsed lung, severe injury. She's having a rough time. This has not been a good hunt for Lucy. She gains a bleeding token and a -1 movement token. However, she rolled leader, so she can discard her -1 movement token. Next person down is Mossy. Mossy rolls a 2. She is also going to suffer some 7. The collapsed lung, severe injury. Bleeding token. She will take the -1 movement penalty. She will not discard that. That's not skip the next hunt, is it? No. And fourth person rolls a 4, which is 2 insanity and 2 survival. Great. What she needs is more insanity. And she loses the 2 at the waist and puts it on her head. And the last person, Newt, rolls an 8. So Newt is going to gain a monster bone basic resource. Very good, Newt. Once again, you are a star. All right, so that's it. So we go to the showdown now, and then we have to leave, which is bad. Let's deal ourselves some random terrain cards. We have 2 tall grass already out, and we have giant stone face, 2 acanthus plants. We do have a sickle. Let's head to here. So this needs to be shuffled. Lucy is in some real trouble now. Got to get her into the grass, and that's about it, I think. We can get her understanding from the organ grinder and from the drafting table. So we can clear apathetic relatively easily. Don't think she's had either of those, he says, hopefully. Yeah, she hasn't. Cool. So Aya is going to have to be our target, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Lucy. There. Lucy will go there. Nightingale will go there. Mossy will go there. And Newt will go over here. So we've got the stone face and the acanthus plants. Stone face is actually interesting because we do have she's got the sickle, doesn't she? Sickle and sickle. All right, we shall commence. All right, we're set up. The first AI card is Hiccup. He's just going to retch backwards. Move the Gorm 2 spaces backwards. Have a vomit. Now at the end of his turn, he's going to vomit again. Oh man, I forgot. There's also -2 accuracy from Aya and +2 strength. So -2, +2. And not Lucy. Same with Mossy. -2. She doesn't need that. +2. And Nightingale. -2. +2. So he's just hiccuping. He's just going to run away like an absolute chump. So, and then at the end of his turn, he performs retch as well. So 1, 2, 1, 2. That's an interesting turn of events, actually, just hiccuping. Unlimited insanity if we had a if we had a croc thing. So if we put Mossy, if we put Aya here, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. And the Vespertine bow goes to range 11 if we're on top of the thing. So that probably is the right play. We can use the thing, can't we? Oh, I just remembered, Wisdom Potion. This we get to play with top up. How good is that? Yeah. So I think this is just the right play. So we're going to move Lucy into the grass. Aya's going to spend a survival to dash and then a survival to surge. And that puts her on top of the stone face. And when she's at the stone face, she's going to fire the Vespertine bow, which will go to 1 speed, hitting on a 2+. And then it will be, yeah, so that's a 3. So it hits. Now this is a shield, by the way, so it's going to score her a shield proficiency point. We know it's this wound here, which is a little gormy retching one. And we know there's a critical on a 9. Now the Gorm is toughness 11. And this Vespertine bow is +2 accuracy and +2 range when it's up there. Yeah, it's a 9. It's a critical. He's lamed. At the start of each monster turn, roll 1d10. The Gorm is knocked down. So that wound clears off Hiccup. and gets her proficiency point. Before I actually position that, we're actually range 11, so he is better because if he's speed 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we should be able to position so that we're out of range. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah. So here is there. She's going to harvest the acanthus. She rolls a 12 because she gets to roll 2d10. She gets a fresh acanthus. We archive that. So I'll just add that there, and then she will move to here. Newt. Okay, Lucy, we actually don't want to move to there. We want Lucy to get out of there. Mossy goes to there. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Newt will go to there. Actually, she might hop off the thing. She'll harvest that. Yep. So everyone is just staying safe, playing conservative. We do have a rawhide headband, which we will use on Lucy to have a look at our next 2 cards. And we get a head thrash or a body check. Both of these require a random survivor in range. So we might dash away potentially. What does illuminate do? I forget. Until all survivors are now threats. Insane survivors are thrown into wild fits. They are knocked down. I think we've got too many insane survivors actually. Aya. Oh, Aya's insane. She can't spend survival. How do I backtrack that? I probably can't actually. What's the range of the crimson bow? One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 for being on the stone face. You'll just have to say that I was on the stone face at the start. Is our only option. So yeah, Mossy's going to go to here. And we'll put this body check on top. So Gormy does body check. However, at the start of his turn, on a 9+, he's knocked down. He is not knocked down. Mossy will spend a survival to dash. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we want her to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So he's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So his wretch is not going to get anyone but himself. 1, 2, back to there. So that's it. Now it's time to wail. So we're going to start with Lucy. Doing a bad job of keeping things on screen at the moment, but that's fine. Lucy into the flank. And she's going to swing with the Dreamkeeper knife. So she is 3 speed, hitting on... She's 4 speed, hitting on 4s. So that is 2 hits. Oh, that's right, she has to go again, doesn't she? 4 hits. Uh-oh. Okay, so there's only one bad one for us. So we'll do that one last. Yeah, so this super dense mammoth ridge spine is first. So Lucy is critting on 9s, 8s. 8s for this one, so maybe even 7s, but that's a 9. So we crit and he's knocked down. That is also a savage 1, 2. And because we critically wounded, we apply a -1 luck which means we now crit everything higher. Yep, so next one. That's a 5. It's not a crit, but it is a wound. Next one. That's a 1, so that's a fail. And the last one, that's a 2. That is probably a fail, actually. Yep. So he's knocked down. We're going to go with, I've got to remember to put this thing face up because of the Gorm potion. Yep. Mossy into the front. She'll swing with fist and tooth. He is knocked down. Lucy done. Mossy. So she's hitting on a 3+. She hits twice, including a perfect hit. That allows her to deflect once. So she deflects 1 because she's attacked with the Immortal Arm. Gains 2 armor to her arm location, by the way. And because she's hit with fist and tooth, so she now knows that she gets this spongy leg bone. And this, now she will critical on eights or 7s. We'll see what we roll. That's a 2, but believe it or not, that actually is still a wound because the Immortal Arm is strength 10. So that's a wound, which gains our proficiency point for Mossy. And the second one, that's a 1, which is a fail. Mossy's going to surge. And she will strike with fist and tooth again. So she is advancing to frog kick 2. With 1 singular hit. This is face up again, Deno. Yep. And it's a 2+ to wound and like an 8 to crit. So it's a 7 to wound. That's another wound. She is done. Newt. I think we do want to get Newt into the mix. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plus a dash. 1, 2, 3. Swing with the Grimjaw. She should have used a lifetime reroll on that. 2 hits. Oh, that's face up again, Deno. That's actually 3 hits, I forget. My apologies, because she is 2 accuracy. So that one's wounding on a 3+. So that's a wound, which gets us the extra Gorm resource. Boom. Mammoth hand. Don't know if I did that. There you go. He's knocked down. That's a Lantern 10. He gains a -1 accuracy token, which I will put out just in case. And this one is a 1, so that fails to wound. What is on top of the deck? That one. So I think we go with Aya on the stone face, shooting the Vespertine bow. 4 speed, hitting on a 3+. 2 hits, including a perfect hit. Now, do we, yep, no, that's fine. 1, 2, these reactions are cancelled. She is critting on something. She gets to roll first and then decide. That's a 1, so we use a Guardian reroll to re-roll that. Into a 3, is that a wound on Aya? Strength 5 plus 3, that is absolutely not a wound, Deno. Yeah, I don't think they can use it now. And we'll have that one. That's a critical though, so we get an active Thyroid Strange resource. If that one punishes, if that punishes this, we'll go the other one. Yeah, It doesn't punish us, but it's a consumable, so. Wound. So Aya's got a proficiency point. Lucy has not swung her grand weapon. Mossy has a proficiency point. Nightingale does not have an axe, and Newt has gained her dagger proficiency point. That's our turn. We're going to have a look here. Nightingale has a rawhide headband, so she's going to have a look at these two. Thunderfoot is probably okay. Let's draw an AI. Scratch. That is a bad one. We are facing it anyway, and it is one Mossy. -1 accuracy token may be pivotal here. May be pivotal. So it's the monster's turn. He's going to roll his on a 9+, see if he's knocked down. It's a 7, he's not knocked down. So he flips this one, which is Scratch. It's targeting Mossy. At this flow, what's on top of the deck? It's 2 speed. It's hitting Mossy on a 2+. No, it's hitting Mossy on a 4+, which goes to 5+. Come on, Moss. Two hit locations. Body, body. We have to dodge the body once. Does she gain that survival back? She's actually had 3 opportunities to get survival back. She's got it back twice. Severe injury roll on the body. She rolls an 8. That's good. Because that went to there and that went to there. A broken rib. Suffer a permanent speed. This injury is permanent and can be recorded multiple times. Gain a bleeding token. 1 broken rib. Now, once again, this this healing potion situation is going to be, oh my God, she's got deflect up. Deflect. She doesn't suffer any of that because of deflect with fist and tooth. She wounded with fist and tooth. She gained a progress. Oh, that's awesome. I completely forgot about deflect 1. We do really want to try and knock this guy down, so yeah, Lucy's going to suffer 2 damage somewhere, which is okay. Yeah, Mossy's going to dash. She doesn't get the survival back. 1, 2. He's going to retch the end of his turn. 1, 2. Lucy has to suffer retch. 2 damage to random hit location that ignores armor. 2 to the body. Lucy is knocked down. So that's the end of the monster's turn. He's got 4 wounds left. Lucy's knocked down, so we're going to fist bump Lucy to stand up. We'll just use Aya. She'll then move 1, 2, 3, 4 to the flank, and she will swing with the rib blade, and she hits on a 6, and there, does she? Yes. Yeah, and then she legendary lungs into another hit for, no, just 1 hit. So we know that's that one. She crits on like a 7 or something. That's a 3, but it is a wound. So the rib blade wounds. Lucy's good. What is on top of the deck? The trap. Okay. So I think what we do now is we put our scout in the box, boom. Aya moves off here to here. She moves to here, so they're out of line of sight. And then Mossy just walks into the grass and punches with fist and tooth. We'll also give her an extra speed. 2 hits. So she procs the trap. So, full move the Gorm, the attacker suffers 2 damage to the head location. Good on your Moss. 1, 2. Then turn to face the most survivors. We actually want to turn to face Lucy here, and Lucy is going to suffer some brain traumas. So she suffers 1, 2 brain damage, and then she's going to suffer brain trauma. So she's going to roll a 5, which actually is a 7. So she gains a random disorder and 1d5 insanity. She can't gain insanity, but she goes up to despair 2, which sucks. And she goes up to death poet 2. So she gains a strength token. And she gains a random disorder and she gets hyperactive. Yes, and I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. He's facing like so. And was Mossy knocked down? No. But Lucy is knocked down. Alrighty, so that had to come. We're okay with that outcome. He's still, yeah, everyone else is. Oh yeah, Newt had to dash away. Otherwise she gets chomped. Alright, so that's played face up. Unfortunately, he goes again, but we do get to look at it. It's a charge. The closest threat in facing, it's Mossy. Mossy does have a deflect token up. This is massive speed. On a 9+, he's knocked down. It's a 3. So Mossy is in the grass. It's 5 speed. It hits on a 2+, goes to 4+, goes to 5+, goes to 7+. And she's got deflect up once. 6, 6, 8, 8. 2 hits, 1 deflect, 1 dodge. And then she will dash and get out of range. She gets that survival back for the wretch. Actually, you can't do that, can you, Deno? Oh, you know you can. Yeah, no, this one stops us from doing that. So he's going to retch on Mossy. We're not going to be able to get away from it. On the body, 1, 2. Mossy's knocked down. Aya, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. She will stand up. Mossy, she can't because she doesn't have survival to spend. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we will swing with Mossy, I think. Nightingale spends a survival and stands her up. And Mossy will spend a survival to stand up Lucy. I might actually go with Lucy first with the rib blade. Hits on a 5 and then gets a second one, which hits on a perfect hit, which I don't think does anything. 1, 2. She's wounding on a 2+, so that's a 7. Is that a critical? I think it is a critical, Luce. Is it also a sword? No. We'll do that order. We're going to Jiggling Lard. This risk feels like it's paid off. And then that was another critical, but it's not. So 2 wounds. And now Mossy goes with Fist and Tooth. What's on top? Newt will come out and give her a speed. 1 perfect singular hit. That's a wound because it wounds on a 2+. We need to do 1 more wound. We'll just go to here. So Mossy gains another wound with Fist and Tooth. She's got to deflect up. I will shoot with the slow thing. It hits. Don't know what she needs. A 1's definitely not it. We'll use our second Guardian reroll into a Lantern 10. We gain a Stout Kidney. That'll do. That'll do, pig. That'll do. 1 Stout Kidney. Before anything else happens, there were some nervy moments there, but the Fetid Grotto, so we have to make a blind exit. So I don't like this at all, but we do get rid of Gorm Climate. So let's start with Aya. Aya rolls an 8. I don't really want Aya to get 8, but she does. She suffers a -1 permanent movement. She gains Acid Palms. Didn't really want Acid Palms. And that's it. If Lucy rolls that, she will get something out of it, which would be awesome. Lucy. Lucy rolls a 10. She can't spend survival, and she already has the legendary Lungs Secret Fighting Art. Mossy. Mossy rolls a 9. Mossy gets Acid Palms. That's good for us. That's very good for us. She doesn't have legendary lungs. Next person, we really want a 4, 5, 6. A 1. Nightingale suffers a permanent strength loss. And she gets a random basic resource. And finally, Newt. Newt rolls a 4. Newt does have 5 courage. So she will slay the infant Gorm. And she will gain the megalophobia disorder. And we gain a random Gorm resource. So we have a basic resource. And then we have a Gorm resource. Then 6 Gorm and 4 basic. And we remove Gorm Climate from the timeline. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Someone gets 3 insanity. Speaking of insanity, Lucy will give herself 2 insanity back from her thing. She can do this. She can set her insanity to 2, which is not gaining. Four. 1, 2. Don't give me them. 3. Ooh, give me that. 4. Great and lucrative hunt. Couple of movement penalties though, which I don't feel great about. We will return from the showdown. 2 hunt XP. We will gain some philosophies. We will gain 2 collective cognition, which means we're getting level 2 philosophies. And Newt can ponder dreamism. I think we have weathered the storm, as it were. So we have just our settlement event, and then we shall do a rumbling in the dark. All right, which pile shall we draw from? Pile number 1, which is this one. And then on the left, we will roll from card 9, and on the right, card 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And this one, 1, 2. Our choices are a Triathlon of Death. Skull Eater. I really, really, really wish we had Cannibalize. So we have to take a Triathlon of Death. But we can slightly game the system because we are only one person. And it's actually wonderful because we get to give someone back a permanent movement. And a skull. And a weapon proficiency level. All right, I'm going to be back. No, let's quickly enter our resources. No, I'll set everything up and then I'll return. All right, so we have a lot of little things to do. So let's start those little things, shall we? We're going to give Mossy 3 insanity from collecting that thing, and we're also going to give her a skull insanity that she is about to obtain in a short moment. We have leveled up these 3 knowledges, and we have removed these 2 knowledges out of the deck. Quite annoying. We've forced a starting knowledge back into our deck, which actually sucks. We're going to deal these knowledges out into the forum. One, two, 3. Physiognomy and Evermore are both exceptional. The 2 patterns we're selecting, Armorsmith Tongs, Tempered Spear. So I'll come back to those in a little bit. So that's our knowledge deck done. The Triathlon, someone is going to gain a permanent movement. That person is Mossy. So Mossy goes up to movement 5. She also gains a skull and bragging rights. And then she's also going to gain a weapon proficiency level, which makes her a fist and tooth specialist. So that's delightful. Triathlon of Death completed for this campaign. At some point, that is going to change, and we're going to have to select 4 of those. But until that time, I will play that as completely as it is written, which is 1 survivor. We have Rumbling in the Dark. One of my favourite stories. Nominate a female survivor, they gain a permanent strength. We don't need it to be Mossy. We're actually going to nominate Aya. Aya gains a permanent strength. And then she gains the Vermin Obsession Disorder, which is okay. And then we also gain the Round Stone Training Innovation. And we may now hunt the Dung Beetle Knight, which is wonderful. Now if we see here, we have now leveled up to Sated Enlightenment, which means we now have level 2 philosophies into our deck. Let's have a look at the philosophies that we have available. Verminism, Gourmandism, 2 of my favourites. Romanticism, which we know we're going to get. And then Regalism, Collectivism, and Optimism. So I really want to use my favourite ones because I love Gourmandism. I just love the story of it. But what I'm going to do, Regalism feels like absolutely the correct one because it's about 7 swordsmen. So we're going to take Regalism, and then I'm just going to randomly deal the other 2. And whatever 2 we get, that is what we will take. We are going to become romantics, so I think we're going to decide maybe for Aya to be a romanticist. Or we just go barbaric and everyone gets a strength. Yeah, that might actually be the better option because the way we've structured it, all right, verminism. And collectivism. Okay, great. So those are our 3 tier 2s. And we have to decide here, so we're definitely going to give regalism to Nightingale. The reason is most of these knowledges don't require levelling up, and she has no ability to level up the knowledges because she can't use knowledges. So it's a bit of a catch-22. So there you go. So we're going to start with regalism for Nightingale, and she adopts regalism. Find the castle, which she can't do. Great. She gains a Lumi, unless we can jank a thing with her. And she rolls a 6. She gains a strength, and we gain call to arms. She will absolutely be nowhere near the highest strength in the settlement. Actually, no, we don't gain call to arms because we don't have collective cognition 23. But we do have find the castle. Find the castle. Which gets added into our knowledges. Frog kick. Death poet. So now we have to decide which one Mossy gets. Now, I think verminism is probably the better call. All weapons in your gear grid gain paired. Hissing arms, if you have paired weapons in your gear grid, you can set up for deflect. She's just not going to have paired weapons, so maybe our best play is actually collectivism. We will increase the settlement's survival limit, which has already happened. Good work, Scribe. And I haven't looked at collectivism in a long time, so let's have a look. I wish we got gourmandism instead of verminism. Gourmandism is just awesome. It just all round rocks. Mossy. Collectivism, the birth of a monster. Gain a Lumi. And she rolls a 4. You and a survivor of your choice gain a strength. We do not have collective cognition 15, but that is okay. So we gain a strength, and I think we will go with Aya will gain a strength. Very good. Aya is going to hold out for romanticism. We're not that far off romanticism, Deno. She's perfect for romantic. Perfect. Okay, so... and we also had a dreamism, didn't we? Newt can ponder dreamism. Yes. Newt ponders dreamism, rank 4. See if we can get a luck or something on Newt at rank 4. Gain 2 Lumi and roll 1d10. That is a 7. Game Master. That's absolutely useless. But gain a luck. Good day. So that is great. And we'll now enter in our resources. So this is a fresh acanthus, of which there are 3. 1, 2, 3. We have some basic resources. We have an organ. We have a perfect bone. We have a broken lantern. We have a question marks. We have another monster organ. We have a monster bone. He dishes up some resources, but with some severe penalties, which is nice. That feels like a cool balance. Stout hide. Milky eye, which is where we got the 3 insanity. Mammoth hand. Handed skull. Jiggling lard. Stout heart. Dense bone. Stout kidney. Jiggling lard. An active thyroid. A mammoth hand. And a stout heart. That active thyroid is found here in that. I am not sure if there is anything that jumps out from the Gorm items that we want to build. Regen suit feels very, 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 very good, but I don't think we can afford a regen suit. Where's my Gormery? There it is. The Gorn is a nice weapon or instrument. Greater Gax, maybe. I think the Greater Gax is alright. Actually, the black sword needs a Gormite and a handed skull. We've got the Gormite, we've got the handed skull. Go for the black sword early. Swordmaster. Shut the gate. Game over. What does the thingy require? A pulse lantern requires a milky eye and an active thyroid. I do know that we are absolutely spending our organ, our bone, and a hide somewhere. To, I guess it's from the Gorm, to innovate. And we'll do that right now. First one. Scarification we don't need. Sculpture we could take. Nightmare training is probably better. Family is not on the cards. Nightmare training or sculpture. What do we want to sculpt? I sculpted Duty Bound in the last campaign and it was absolutely glorious. I was contemplating sculpting Evermore to just try and keep people alive. It costs 1 less Lumi to gain, or Nightmare Training to gain a weapon proficiency level. We'll go Nightmare Training because I think it is... Actually, do we want Pottery? No, we'll go Nightmare Training because it reduces the deck. We kind of want to get storytelling. If we get storytelling, then we can make a Fetosaurus, which would be cool. Okay, time to think. I shall return. Lots to ponder. Lots to ponder. We are going to use we innovated. We're going to use one of our endeavours to build the barber surgeon, which is done at the organ grinder. It costs us 3 organ and a hide. And so we definitely want to do that. We have 1 organ there. We have 1 organ here, and we have another organ here. So creating the barber surgeon allows us to build a first aid kit if we create leather. So we do want to create leather, and that is going to turn 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into leather. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now with that leather, we will then craft a first aid kit, which is here. And we will also craft, what do we need for an almanac? 2 leather and pictograph. Consider that. And then we're also going to use the leather worker to craft a round leather shield. We have so many bones, don't I? And we will make a second round leather shield, I think. Is that what we want to do? Yes. Round leather shield into a dense bone. So 2 round leather shields. We still have 3 endeavours to spend. Now we will use our organ grinder to turn our 3 fresh acanthus into dried acanthus. Craft, craft, craft. We also have some monster grease. I'll craft that again. Potentially, we may craft a second monster grease. Let me grab those out. Monster grease. Oh, we lost some healing potions. Yeah, so it's Operation Staying Alive. Staying alive, staying alive, staying alive. Yeah, we find ourselves in a reasonably good position here. We also want to make a scrap sword. Why do we want to make a scrap sword? We are future-proofing for our tempered blade. Why do you keep trying to use these things? Change, whistle tooth. Craft 1 scrap sword. And we have 2 leather shields. I may change up my leather shield into a leather mask and a leather boots or something for that second one. I'll think about that. And now what we're going to do is use our last 3 endeavours. So trepanning allows us to cure a disorder on a 3 to 6. Apathetic is 1 disorder that we could clear, but we'd probably actually prefer to clear immortal. We can monster anatomy study Aya into a shield, but we don't need to do that for now. Instead, we are going to use the drafting table with Lucy, and she is going to practice at the drafting table, and she rolls a 4, which is gain 1 understanding once per lifetime. Come on, Luce. Come on, Luce. Come on, Lucy, come on. Come on. 1 understanding. And then we will... So we will probably want to bone beats, made leather. I reckon we might just nightmare train, or do we... So we do want to special innovate scrap smelting soon. I think we want to try and get a 1, 2 or a 3 for Lucy to get rid of her understanding. So yeah, we'll try that. That's a 1. So Lucy cures her apathetic thanks to 2 wonderful rolls on the trot. Lucy. Which means she cures apathetic because she has 8 understanding. Perfect, actually. I think we'll nightmare train, and I think we'll do that with Aya. Nope, she can't spend survival. Mossy, we don't need to risk it at this point in time. Anyone close? Newt on Dagger. Dagger's not a big one for us. Lumina's already got Bow. Yeah. In that case, I think we will actually just... we'll probably bone beats. We'll bone beats to give someone some insanity or some survival. So that's a really good hunt. We'll purchase physiognomy for Newt the Scout at a cost of 3 Lumi. I've already done that. And I don't know if I talked about it, but we're going for the armor, smith's tongs, and the tempered spear. So these are the 4 that we've chosen. So we've sort of gone for 1 level 1, 2 level 2s, and a level 3 so far. So we'll try for a 4 maybe next. This we will be able to craft if we face a phoenix. This we'll be able to craft as soon as we gain scrap smelting, we make a bone club. So we want to get that one soon. This one, however, we could craft right now if we had an organ from a level 2 and some broken lanterns. We don't. Actually, speaking of, did I use a broken lantern instead of a whistle tooth or a scrap? No. What a great time we're having with this campaign. We're still no survivors down. I am actually surprised at this point because I thought we'd lose 1 for sure. I think we're going to try and send out Nightingale every time we can to just try and jank that 42, that Dark Surgeon. It's the only way I can find to clear Hamstrung, and Hamstrung is absolutely punishing. You know, she can't use abilities or fighting arts, which means she's not ageless. She doesn't get stalwart. She doesn't explore. She can't use knowledges. Like, she is just a trash survivor. So if someone does die, it's going to be her. We're going to make sure she dies. Everyone else, though, is ticking along nicely. Newt, Guardian. As soon as Death Sense rocks up, you know, we probably won't put it on her, actually, but yeah, we'll see what else we get for her. Megalophobia is problematic, but you know, we can attempt to clear that soon. We have Trepanning, don't we? Yeah, we'll do Trepanning on... Someone has a gain a severe injury thing. Yeah, we'll do Trepanning on Aya. No, I think we'll do Trepanning on Aya and try and clear her immortal. So that's a 1, which means she suffers the intracranial hemorrhage. How good. Fortunately, we can cure it. That's fine. Well, I wasn't sending Ira out on this hunt anyway. That is it for this lantern year. I feel very, very good. We just need to prepare ourselves for Atlas, prepare ourselves for a few things. We want to work towards this tempered spear so we can start getting spear proficiency, and maybe these armor smith tongs to really ramp it up. We're not going to hunt a dung beetle knight just for a little while because we just don't have the armor. Normally I'd be frothing a dung beetle, but we got no leather. We've got rawhide sets at galore, so the damage on that guy's bull would just kill us. I'd really like to try and get to Fetosaurus if I can, and have everything in place. So all we need is an underplate fungus, and we go and get a Fetosaurus, because that would be. But that'll do, friends. That's going to be it for this episode. I hope you're enjoying the campaign. I'm absolutely loving it. Really, really, probably my favourite Kingdom Death campaign I've played. So I look forward to catching you in the next episode. Big Deno out.